party people. Welcome back to Not Your Average Girl. This is a safe place where we come, we talk all things mental health, spirituality, and quite a bit of tarot. Today's thought is the problem with the creative brain if you don't know how to structure it. I've struggled with this my entire life. I was originally just making a little thread in my stories, but I thought, let's film a short video on it instead. So the thought was, today I seen this girl at the grocery store and she was stunning. She was stunning in a very ethereal sort of way. She looked like very alien-esque or high fae. And instantly, because I have a creative brain, my brain started flashing all these images in my head of this exactly how I'd want to do her hair and makeup and style her for a photo shoot, and then where I could take the photo shoot and the type of poses that we would do. And I have a very naturally creative brain and always have ever since I was a little kid. And the problem with this is I struggle very much so with almost an ADHD sort of mindset, where I get a lot of really, really good ideas, but I don't bring a lot of them to fruition, because it's I get the idea and then I just and I flit off into another idea. But when I'm surrounded by really talented, creative people, it's we create just magic together, because it's their talent inspires me. And then when I do want to bring a specific idea to life, I am very much so a perfectionist. And I think this is why I flit about ideas a lot, because if I can't perfect it, then I'm not doing it. I don't half-ass shit. So for example, in high school, I had this friend named Andy. His name was Andrew Stevenrow. He passed away, but he was a really talented musician. And I can sing decently, but I can't read sheet music, and I don't have perfect pitch or anything like that. So it's I can't always identify, oh, well, this is played in F minor. I don't know all that, right? But sometimes, because I have a creative brain, I'll get a random tune in my head, or I'll get a lyric in my head, and it'll spark a song. And in my head, I will have a whole ass song made up in my head. And it was really fun to hang out with Andy, because he could play by ear, and the man was so talented. Oh God, I loved hanging out with Andy. He could play the guitar, he could play the piano, he could play quite a few different instruments, and he was a really talented singer. So I would hang out with Andy, and I would hum him a melody, and he'd be like, oh, like this? And then he'd play it on the piano and be like, yes, that's it. And it could just, I would be like, okay, and then I'm hearing this, and I would sing the melody to a specific instrument, and I was and then the guitar would sound like this, and I was and then the drums would sound like this, and we'd compose an entire song together. And it was just fun. We just did it just for shits and giggles. And then I currently have this friend named Amber Averett, and she's a really, really great photographer, but she, because we live in a small country town, she gets stuck sometimes in the rhythm of just doing family portraits and stuff like that, because that's how she makes her money. But every once in a while, I'll get an idea for a photo shoot. I seen a maypole image one time on Instagram of these pagans dancing around a maypole. And it sparked this idea for a photo shoot, and I was like, oh my God, this would be brilliant. And so I messaged my friend Amber, and I was like, Amber, you should do a silhouetted, witchy session where you get all these women to dance naked around a fire. And I just painted this picture for her, and she was like, oh my God, this is fucking brilliant, And another time I was like, oh, we should do this wood nymph thing. And I encourage these creative projects for her, because she loves photography, but sometimes she gets bored in the monotony of just a traditional family photo shoot, right? And I have lots of friends with lots of different talents, and I do this with all of them. And it's not because like I'm a control freak or I want like a free photo shoot or like I want like them to write a song for me for like my channel or anything like that. Like that's not why I do it. I do it just because I see people with creative gifts and I just sit there in awe and I'm just like, and I'm like somebody who is partially knowledgeable about a lot of different things. I'm a Gemini rising. So like I go down like little wormholes of like little stages of my life where it's like, I want to experiment with drawing with charcoal. So I will for a little bit. Or I want to experiment with pottery. So I will for a little bit. Or I want to experiment with this or that. And I've been this way since I was a little kid. Like my idea of play as a little kid was I would get together with my best friend Lizzie and we'd go to her garage and we'd put on music and we'd choreograph whole ass dances. And then we'd pick out like the perfect outfits and we'd do our hair and makeup. And then we would force her parents and her sister to sit down and watch us like put on these big productions for them. And that was my idea of play because I have nonverbal learning disability, which is on the autism spectrum, but it's kind of like autism and ADHD's like little love child, right? And it causes a lot of like social issues and like school issues, but it also created like a superpower for me because like I get all these like ADHD like creative sparks of ideas and like special interests and stuff like that, but then the autistic aspects created kind of like in some ways like leadership like qualities where I had very structured play and always have, where I can be quite bossy, and I'm aware of this. And if I do ever cross a boundary or I come off bossy, all you have to do is be like, hey Sam, this is my thing, this is my creative vision, and I'll back off like instantly because I don't intend to be that way. It's like I see something and I get excited about it and my brain just takes it from like 0 to 100. Like if you tell me you're planning a party and it's like a themed party, my brain instantly, because I have like photographic memory and I can very clearly visualize things, I instantly start dreaming up like decorations and locations and like costuming and like music, and like my brain takes me there. And when I'm surrounded by creative people, we just naturally create really beautiful things together. And it's a lot of fun for me. This week, my friend Alex and she recently had her hair dyed and it weirdly faded to like this perfect rainbow thing. And I seen her and I'm like, oh my God, Alex, I love the way your hair faded. And she's like, oh, thank you, you know. And Alex isn't a model. I'm not a photographer, I'm not a professional makeup artist or anything, but I dabble in photography and I dabble in like hair and makeup and stuff just because it's fun for me, it's creative. And I seen her and I was like, we should do a photo shoot. And she's like, yeah? And I'm like, picture this. I was like, she's got this jacuzzi bathtub in her bathroom, and it has a mirrored wall, and she has this like tri-fold like clothing rack. And I'm like, okay, so what we're gonna do is, I was like, we're gonna black out your windows so like we take away most of the natural light, right? And I was like, we get your tri-fold clothing rack, we drape a black sheet over it so the reflection of the mirror, you're not getting anything in the background, like the bathroom in the background, you know, you're just getting black, right? And then I was like, we turn the lighting way down low, and I have a black light, and I was like, we can light it this way with the black light, we can angle it this way, and then I can put you in this like black negligee, and then we can get like a black bath bomb, and we can make the water like all blacked out. I said, but then because your hair is the rainbow, I was like, I can do this really cool like metallic like eye makeup, and I have it perfectly in my head. And then I'm like, I can light it like this with the black light, and then I want to get like rainbow like confetti and just like put it all over her body like body glitter, and then like the contrast of like the bright rainbow against like the black water, and then the black negligee and like all this stuff. And like I start instantly just dreaming up this whole ass photo shoot. And we're planning on doing that this week, and she's not paying me for this, and I'm not like doing this for like like a magazine competition or anything. It's just my form of play. I seen her hair and I was like, ooh, this would be fun. And like today I seen that girl at the grocery store and I saw her and I was like, she looks like a fairy. Oh, we could do this. And I don't know her. And that's just my form of play. And I think sometimes people misinterpret it, especially if somebody's very talented or very successful in their creative field. Like I have some friends who are very talented photographers, or I had a friend for like 3 years and she's a model and a very good one, like featured in magazines. And when we first became friends, she loved this about me because I would help her come up with really good ideas for photo shoots. Like I'd help her pick out outfits and help style her and like be like, oh, you should do a photo shoot like this. And then she would contact photographers and she'd do this. But because sometimes it can be a little bit too bossy, or sometimes I get excited and I want to be involved, and she didn't have strong boundaries and she wouldn't tell me when it felt like I was crossing boundaries. And in my mind, I was just playing. Later on, she told me after our friendship fell apart, but it didn't fall apart for this reason. It fell apart for other reasons. She later told me, she said sometimes it felt like she felt like I was in competition with her because I would get these like creative ideas and I would pitch them to her. And she felt like I was like trying to control her career, or like trying to like I was the better model or better, visionary or whatever. And I never meant it like that at all. Like I thought she was so talented and so amazing at what she did. I would just get these ideas and I would just be like, oh, we should do this. And I think a lot of times I'm misunderstood in that way. Like, for example, I also had this friend in Wisconsin many, many years ago, back in high school and early college. His name was Matthias. Matthias was a really talented writer, and he would write screenplays. And I was a music theater junkie and like a big fan of like indie films and stuff like that. And then we had another friend named Joe, and Joe was a really good cinematographer, and he wanted to, direct his own movies and stuff one day. So just for shits and giggles, we would sit down and I would pitch Matthias like these ideas for like a screenplay, and then he would write up the script, and then Joe would be like, okay, we could shoot this here, here, and here, and we would just like do it. It was just for fun. Like, we weren't gonna like enter these projects in like any like competitions or anything. We just did it for fun. And like, because I would do this, it sparked some really great ideas for Matthias, and he eventually, went on to do some like pretty awesome things. And we communicated in a very compatible way, and Joe and I communicated in a very compatible way. But I had another friend in Wisconsin where, and I won't name them, where I tried to treat them the same way I treated Matthias and Joe, and they took it the wrong way. Like they were a musician, and they would like play me like a song that they were writing, and they'd be like, what do you think? And I'd be like, oh, brilliant. And then I'd be like, you know what though, when you sang this lyric, this, you should change it to this and this. Doesn't that have a better ring to it? And that person would get offended. And I didn't mean to critique their work like that. Like, I didn't mean like it wasn't good. My brain instantly goes, how can we make this the best? How can we, like, if you tell me you want to be a famous musician one day, I'm going to help you like write your best song if you'll allow me to. And like, say you have like an audition or something, like not only am I going to help you pick out like your best set list for that, you know, I'm also going to help you style an outfit. And I'm also going to like, it's just the way my brain works. And my mom's the same way. Like when my mom was the children's director at church, she would constantly take on like these big projects and stuff for the church. And like my little sister would, they would do like these little like fundraisers and stuff where they'd have like a talent show at the church. And my little sister is a very talented like a dancer. Like she likes choreographing like little dances and stuff. And she entered in the talent show. And my mom was like, okay, well, what song are you doing? And instead of just letting my little sister like bullshit and like make up this little dance, it was like a whole family affair where we had like practically have like America's Got Talent in our living room where we choreographed a whole ass dance. And like next thing you know, she's like kicking balloons off the stage, and like we turned it into a big thing. And that's like how my family plays. That's how I play. And I think some people really love that about me, and then some people really hate it about me. And I think it's easy for people to get offended when communication isn't strong between the two. And I mean this when I say I don't think I have all the best ideas. I don't think like I'm the best of the best, or like you have to listen to me. I'm not a control freak. It's like I bounce all these ideas off you to see what sticks, and just for fun. It's my version of play. But I do understand that it can sometimes come off like controlling, or like I'm critiquing, or all of that. So if I've done that to you in any way, please know that like I don't mean to step on toes. Like if you are a creative and I've messaged you with like an idea or something, it's not because like I'm trying to like mooch off of you, or like, oh, I just want to collaborate with you so I can get money, or like, oh, she's trying to like take my job and stuff like that. No, if I've done that with you, it's because I believe in your talent. Like it's because I see like potential, and I truly believe like, call me, we can brainstorm this and we can do something really cool. And it's not even because like I want like money or like the accolades or like anything like that. It's just because it's my form of play. So if I do that, it's not, how do I word this? I feel like I'm struggling to word this. If I do that, it's because I'm trying to bond with you. I'm trying to play. And I think sometimes people that are creative types who've made an established career with their creative talents, I think sometimes they misinterpret it as like mooching, or like trying to ride on like their success or something like that. And this video is not directed at like specific people. I've done this many times in the last year with many different people. Like my friend Melanie, who's a very talented tarot reader, I have messaged her many times about like projects that we could do together. My friend Amber, who's a very talented photographer, I've messaged her many like photo shoot ideas. Like I just do this. It's my form of play. So yeah, the whole point of this video, I guess, is just to ask, does anybody else do this? Is this like, I'm sure other people do this, but is this like a common thing for creative types, or is this like a neurodivergent thing? Let me know. Comment. Let me know if you do this too. And if you want to just play and you want to just create something with me, hit me up. This is like literally my favorite friendships, are the ones where we can just bullshit and like write a song together, or like do a random photo shoot, or even like design a clothing line, or you know, whatever. Like literally all of the above. I like it all. So bye.